Hey guys, if you like what you're seeing, be sure to click below to subscribe and share.
It's not just about the photograph, it's the outdoor experience. Keep in mind everything that you need to know about photography. F-stop, shutter speed, lens selection. Nice photo. I've got beautiful light now. Oh my God. I'm your host, Doug Gardner, and your wild photo adventure starts now. Well, welcome to the Heartland, folks. This week we're in southwest Kansas, and we're going to be photographing large whitetail deer. We're in Ford County, and we're going to be photographing along the Arkansas River. Now, the really special thing about the deer here in Kansas is that they're some of the largest whitetail deer in North America. They're known for having extremely large antlers and large body mass. We're also going to show you some different techniques for how to photograph these elusive and wild animals. I'm your host, Doug Gardner, and your wild photo adventure starts now. Okay, when you come into an area that you've never photographed before, it's important to try to get some information about the property and the terrain before you get into the area, because you can waste a lot of time trying to figure out where animals are, where they're moving. I've found that if you get online, try to find some satellite maps of the area, you can really do a much better job of finding good places to photograph. But what I look for when I get a satellite map, you look for terrain features. Generally, animals don't want to get caught out in the open for too long a period of time. They want to stay near cover. Cover means safety for them. So on the satellite map, I've got three main terrain features that are going to kind of act like a funnel. Generally, wildlife will follow very defined terrain features. Out here to the side, running the length of the property, across the bottom of the satellite map right here, we have the Arkansas River. The river comes down to a point and meets into the largest patch of woods or hedge area that the entire property has. This is the thickest cover on the entire property. Then back here behind us, we have three draws that funnel right down into this large patch of woods, and all of this is easily seen right here on the map. You have three draws, you have the river, and then you have this large patch of woods, and they all converge at the same point. That tells me that any wildlife using the draws, using the river, or using the thick forest are going to be concentrating in one particular area. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to set up right here in the bottom of this river basin, at the base of the draws, at the closest point where the river meets the property. So I know the general area. I want to be right down here in this river basin, so I want to check the wind. This is called a windicator, actually. It's just unscented powder. You give it a little puff and it tells you exactly where the wind's blowing. So the wind's blowing right down into this basin. So I don't want to get right here. I want to go upwind a little ways, and so that I'm facing into the wind. All my scent is blowing away from where I think the deer are going to travel. I'm hoping that the deer are going to travel down this draw and down the edge of the river. So I'm going to go beyond that and shoot back this direction. Now that I know that, I've also got to keep in mind my lighting. Well, west is right over here and the east is right over here. So if I go on the other side of the property and shoot back this way into the wind, my scent will be blowing away from the deer, and I'll have light both morning and afternoon if I'm shooting back this direction. We're gonna go set up our blind, then ease out of here, and come back maybe tomorrow and give the animals time to accept the blind, get comfortable with it. So let's get busy and see what we can come up with. Now, this is some really good sign here. We've got multiple heavy deer trails all converging into one main trail. And we've got some huge tracks in here. This is a good sign. This area, you know, everybody's told me that this area is red hot for big bucks, and I hope that's gonna be the case. We spent a lot of time putting our blind out the other day, and we checked the wind and we set it up for what the normal prevailing wind is, but wind has shifted a little bit. I think we're still gonna be okay. It's still mostly blowing my scent off to the north, so I think we're gonna be okay. So let's see what happens. I tell you, there's sign everywhere in this area of deer activity. This is a rub right here that I noticed on the tree. This is where the big bucks will take their antlers and rub them on the tree. And in August and early September, they'll have what's called velvet covering their antlers, and it itches them and they rub it all off. The other thing this is where they spread their scent on the tree. They have glands on the top of their head, on the side, behind their eyes, and they rub that scent on. And the game of the rut is breeding and spreading your scent around, and it's all territorial. So all these signs are good signs that the rut is in full swing. And I believe we've got his scrape right up here. Yeah, this is a pretty fresh scrape right here. Now this is your telltale sign. This is what you look for. If you find multiple scrapes in a row, then you know which direction the buck is traveling. Generally, they'll check these scrapes, come in and refresh them every morning and every afternoon, and you can tell we've got fall leaves all over the place here and no fall leaves in the middle of the scrape. And you can see there's loose dirt right here all the way around. So that means in the last couple hours, he has come through here, cleaned his scrape out, urinated in it, freshened it up, and made his way on down the line. Now, we intentionally put our blind along these scrape lines so we can get that trail, that buck activity is constantly coming back and forth. And hopefully we'll get a buck that's not supposed to be in this territory to come in here and maybe get 2 bucks fighting. So this is a good sign, but let's get in the blind.
I love this type of photography. I will say that this is the hardest type of photography you're gonna do, because you have to be just as good or better outdoorsman as you are a photographer. You know, anybody can learn how to do this kind of stuff. You just got to pay attention, read, you know, talk to hunters. Hunters are some of the best, you know, woodsmen in the world, and they can teach you a lot about how to read an animal's body language, how to read terrain, you know, what kind of weather is conducive to high wildlife activity. These are the type of things you have to pay attention to. And all that has to work just right in order to get close to these wild animals. And these deer are truly wild. We have some huge whitetail deer out here, largely part to the high calcium concentrations in the soil, which makes the antlers grow even larger. There's also a tremendous amount of agricultural land around here, so they have plenty of food to eat. So, you know what? We can't do anything more than what we're doing. We're in the right place. We're in a great place. We're set up, good light. You know, everything's working in our favor. So it's a waiting game. The really tough thing about photographing white-tailed deer, they don't really make any noise unless they're walking in heavy dry leaves or water. Sometimes you can hear them splashing in water. Sometimes you can hear them crunching through dry leaves. But other than that, they are very quiet as they slip through. So you want to be able to see the animal, you know, in plenty of time that you can get ready. If the deer surprises you and steps out pretty close and you try to react, he's going to see you, or he's going to smell you, or he's going to see the movement of the camera, so you really got to be careful. Deer. Here they come. He's chasing the doe. See, folks, that's just how quick things can happen. A nice 8-point buck, and he surprised me. This is the middle of the rut. This is the time of year when those bucks are chasing those does, trying to breed them. And if the doe is not ready yet to be bred, she's just going to keep running away from them. Well, she's obviously not ready, but he is. I think I managed to get one shot of the buck chasing her, but it happens that quick. You got to stay on your toes. You get in these blinds sometimes, you get comfortable, you can lay back, and I can honestly say I've fallen asleep many times in these blinds, but you got to keep looking. You got to look every direction because you never know where something's going to come from. Small buck. I'm going to put this flap down so he doesn't see me. Oh, he's looking. Don't move. Don't move, dude. Oh my God, he's coming straight to us. That was really cool. Little buck, 6-point bucks, very, very small 6-point buck. I think it's the same one I photographed this morning. Came up right beside the blind here, walked around the blind, and came within 4 yards. I mean, he was standing literally right here, 4 yards in front of the camera, and he had me pinned down. There's no way I could have photographed him without spooking him off. A lot of people would have tried to take advantage of that opportunity and get a picture of that deer standing 4 yards in front of the camera. But I know with a 500mm lens on here, and even if I had a short lens in my hand, I could not have moved or tripped the shutter of the camera without spooking him off. Now, you say, why does it matter whether you spook off that little buck? You've already photographed him. Well, in my eyes, that's a decoy. As long as I have wild, live animals walking around out in front of me, other animals that are coming into the area know, hey, this area is safe. There's not a problem. There's no threats. There's no predators. So they'll come on in as well. It keeps other animals comfortable as they're approaching. And it's important that when you get finished photographing in a particular area or you're ready to leave your blind, if you've got animals still in the area, you don't want to flush them out of here. You don't want to spook them off, because next time you want to come back to this area, they're going to be more wary of the blind, of you. So the less you educate them, the more successful you're going to be. Whether you're watching the animal's behavior and you think something's getting ready to happen, you stay on top of your focus and your exposure, because things happen really quick. Alright, well, another buck, just like that. Big, nice buck. He is staring us down. Still not those monster Kansas whitetails, but a very respectable buck and a very pretty deer. He knows something's up. He's taking about 2 steps, stopping and looking. Taking another 2 steps, stopping and looking. Now, he is probably going to take a few more steps forward into that sun, but because he's an elusive animal, they generally like to stand in the shade or in cover, and shade is actually a type of cover. And they'll check things out before they walk into the open. With wildlife photography, especially elusive animals, you have to pick those moments carefully that you're going to trip that shutter. Because every time you trip that shutter, they hear things just like that. That's actually a decent shot. Very nice. There you go. See, he heard my camera. But I'm going to take advantage of this. Very nice. All right, I'm going to let him calm down a little bit. Alright, that's a good sign. He's got his head down. That means he's a little more comfortable now with the area. Looks like he's found something he's going to feed on. Today I'm using a 500mm lens and a Mark IV camera body that's got a 1.3 crop factor. And when you add that together, you get some pretty good distance, some pretty good focal range there. Okay, I see him. Come on, stop. He doesn't want to stop. Come on, stop. All I'm seeing is his rear end. Man, he won't stop. Is he chasing something? Oh, man. That could have been awesome if he would have stopped right there in that light. That would have been beautiful. This goes to show you, I mean, like I said, you never know what you're gonna see. Never. Now, do we always get pictures of great opportunities? Nope. But it's fun to see stuff like that. That was a beautiful coyote. A lot of times this time of year you see coyotes that look really mangy and kind of ratty looking. That was a pretty one. That was a real pretty one. You know, working out of a blind is great, but one thing it does do is when you get set up looking in one direction, you know, your lens is poked through a porthole of some sort, and it kind of locks you down to, you know, a very narrow field of view. And a lot of times, you know, you have activity happening all around you. That's why it's important to understand what the light is doing, where the sun rises and where the sun sets. That way you know where to put your blind and which way to position it. Because once you get in position, you're done. You're not going to be doing any moving around. Very rare occasions are you able to actually pull your camera out of a porthole and move it to out of another side of the blind. Okay. Here comes a nice little buck. He's not a big buck, but golly, he's pretty. That is a beautiful animal. You know, he's not big, but he's got a lot of character to him. He's got pretty horns, nice and symmetrical. And he's got nice color to his fur. The white patches are pure white. What a beautiful little buck. Nice. Very nice, very nice. Now earlier, I got my base exposure before the deer started coming out. I got a base exposure on the base of one of the cottonwood trees. It's almost neutral grade. So I zeroed my meter out so that I had a good neutral tone base exposure for the sun hitting the base of that tree. Then when my subject actually steps out, I check my meter on the fur of the deer, and it's pretty darn close to neutral grade. Now, the grass that he's standing in is a little bit brighter, about a third of a stop brighter than neutral grade. So I've compensated my exposure down 1/3 of a stop, and it's looking really good. It's looking really good. Yeah. Nice buck. Nice buck. Now when they throw the head up like that, you want to remain completely motionless and quiet until they put the head back down. Let them calm down. Because a lot of times if they can associate movement with noise, or noise with smell, or smell with movement, if they can associate 2 of 3 senses, they're gonna bolt out of here. You know, watching that body language of the animals is key. When they throw their head up, that's a sign of alarm. When those ears are pinned back, that means that, you know, they're really searching to try to hear if they've heard something that bothers them, and they're trying to figure out what direction it's coming from. If their nose is up high or down real low, you know, they are trying to pick up a scent. You'll see them actually licking their nose. They're constantly cleaning the sensory glands that they have in their nose so that they can try to smell even better. A lot of times the does will actually give me away faster than a good old smart buck will. Those does will walk right up to you out of curiosity, and if they don't think something's right, they'll start stomping their legs up and down, their front legs, start stomping their feet, and 3 stomps and you're out. After that 3rd stomp, everything in here is gonna get out loud. What is is that going on down there? What is that little bug looking at? Hey, David, keep your eyes open. Something's up. The does and those other bugs are looking, all of them are looking back the same direction. This might be a big bug coming in. Get ready. I'm going to go ahead and focus down there in that general area and check my exposure. Right, those are just does. It's actually a doe and 2 yearlings. And generally, does are a good thing because this time of year, the bugs are trying to breed the does. So the more does you have in the area, the more opportunities you're going to have for some good rutting behavior. I mean, that's just like having a decoy standing out here in front of you. Where the does are, the bugs are going to be. Even though I like to get good shots of those nice big bugs, does, man, I got a soft spot in my heart for does. You know, they're so pretty. And the young does, the yearlings, they are some of the most beautiful animals you're going to be able to photograph. Their hair is real fuzzy, especially the young ones, and they have kind of short snouts on them. Just really, really pretty animals. Hey, we got a bobcat. There's a bobcat coming in behind me. Look at that, look at that. Beautiful, look at that, look at that. Look at him going up under that bush. I bet he's going to try to find a little bird or something under there. That is too cool. Wow, wow. Now, only thing I could wish for is a little better light on him, but still, that's special. You know, no, that might not be the best shot I ever took in my life, but, you know, it was a special moment, and, you know, I'm going to take those special moments all day long to the day I die. That's the reason I'm here. That's what I do. In the last hour, I've had several bugs right here in front of me. I've had a bug chasing a doe within a few feet of the blind. I had one bug walk up here right to the camera. I had a bobcat circle all the way around us and give us 2 good opportunities. A coyote run by. Does are still standing out there. This is unbelievable. One time, a friend of mine and I were out photographing. He was about 200 yards away from me, and he was actually taking a picture of me. And I was looking through my lens at him taking a picture of me, and I could see a gigantic eyeball looking out the front of his lens, and that was a valuable learning experience for me, because if I can see that, a deer or any other kind of animal can also see that, and that's movement. That's an unfamiliar type of movement that an animal would not understand. Shut this window just a little bit. He's looking straight at me. You hear him blowing. That's an alert sound with a deer. Some people call it blow. Some people call it snorting. All right, the buck in front of me is snorting now too. See, that's not a good thing, because it alerts all the deer in the area that something's wrong. And when they start doing that, the best thing to do is just sit tight and get quiet. Alright, well, it's getting late in the afternoon now, and our light here inside the blind that we're filming this by is starting to get pretty marginal, so I think this is going to be about the end of that. But I still got plenty of light out here on my subjects, and I'm going to keep taking pictures as long as I have light, and we're going to keep filming, and we'll show you what we come up with.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this week's show and learned a little more about how to use a blind to photograph elusive animals like white-tailed deer. Now, we didn't come away with images of the monster white-tail bucks that Kansas is known for. However, we did get some really good images of some large bucks and had a great time doing it. More information about this week's show is available online. Remember, it's not just about a photograph, it's the outdoor experience. I'm your host, Doug Gardner. Thank you for joining me on another wild photo adventure. Welcome to the Heartland. We're in Kansas, West Kansas, and we're going to be photographing, get photographs of monster whitetails and show you over in Ford County. And where just tornadoes come from all of a sudden. This is where the bucks will take their horns and not horns, antlers. As a general rule, we'll hang near that river bed. It's the outdoor experience. I'm your Doug Gardner, your host, something like that. More information about this week's show is available online. Just stop.
Hey guys, if you like what you're seeing, be sure to click below to subscribe and share.